We're uncomfortable with silence. I'm sure that you see this with each other, with yourselves and family. Somebody finishes a sentence and the silence has not, the lips have not just closed before somebody else starts to comment. We're uncomfortable by silences. I would urge for your consideration to grow comfortable with silence. What I teach executives is this mantra: be quick to listen and slow to speak. It's amazing what happens when you don't immediately respond. Sometimes people continue to speak on. Sometimes they solve their own problems. Sometimes even when they've come to you and said, what should I do about such and such? And you may or may not have the answer. Pause. See what answers they might actually have come up with on their own. And then you have the opportunity to choose not only between what you thought you might say, but also reacting or responding to what their suggestion might have been. That gets you toward the aspects of guidance and leadership. That gets you into the aspect of helping others achieve the success, not only that you want for yourself, but the success that you want for them. That's also something that Cronkite was huge in doing, so that reporters all over the world were hugely in competition every day, not just because their story was important, but they wanted their story to be great because it was going to be on the Cronkite News. So it creates a culture within an organization. It creates a culture not just that is, oh gosh, I'm going to work umpteen hours. Oh gosh, I've got pay stub tonight. It's going to take me forever, or the whole weekend's going to be consumed by what I'm going to do at the newspaper. Create a culture around yourselves as leaders. And that may seem a little strange, but as you do that, you're creating a brand about yourself, of your openness, of your abilities, not just of your skills and the tools that you may have. You may be better at Photoshop. You may be better at Final Cut Pro. That's all great. That's all wonderful. Congratulations. Those are tools.
Hey, Peter, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Walter obviously had to answer to higher-ups. He was not operating in a vacuum. So I would like to have you talk a little bit about, because as high school newspaper editors, there's obviously a lot of higher-ups that these editors have to deal with. So as a leader, that's an important relationship to navigate. And I wonder if there are any models or any lessons to be learned from, the kind of situations that Cronkite was in, because he was operating not in a vacuum. And then the second question that I would ask you to talk about is, what were his personal relationships like with his colleagues? Because I think also one of the realities in a high school situation is editors they're friends with the people they're working with. They've got to kind of navigate both the personal and the professional relationship.
Yeah, boy, both of those are huge and tough. Let me take the first one in terms of the higher ups. With success comes power. With your success as both being leaders and editors, you become infinitely more influential than you are sitting there today. Today, you're just incoming editors. Within the first couple of weeks, the work you do, the way you carry yourself, just like Walter, will set a tone for how you're going to be seen. Are you going to be seen as tough or compliant? Are you going to be seen as confident, or are you going to be weak? I don't just mean amongst your friends. I mean within the school community, both the advisor and even beyond that. Do you have clarity about what your job is going to be? And it's more than just, we're going to have a great newspaper, or we're going to do great stories. Success in this point is, how are you going to leave your mark? What are you going to be known for? How do you want the administration even to see you? And there, of course, administrations in schools are a lot like, well, there's a certain element where they do want to and will insist on controlling you. That's a given. But how do you want to challenge that? Not arrogantly, not inappropriately. What bugs you? What do you want to do as part of your stories? What tone do you want to set? How do you want to challenge appropriately, properly, and even respectfully? The answer, I think, to the first question is, with success as individual, as editors, with clarity, the administration and power will take you more seriously. Will they give in to you for everything? Of course not. You should be so lucky. And I would be giving you total crap if I said that the world would change on that basis. It won't. But how you're seen is paramount. The second question I think that you asked Professor Stewart was, how is he seen amongst his other colleagues? We all want to be liked. We all want to be the pal. We all want to be invited to the party, or in this case, after CBS, it was to go drinking at the Slate Bar at 56th Street and 9th Avenue. Don't worry about being liked. I'm saying to you, don't worry. Cronkite didn't. Cronkite was respected. At times, he was even aloof. Within the context of the work that was being done on the day-to-day basis, he was quite aloof. He knew that he was going to make enemies, and he was okay about it. He knew that he was going to be strong and cut people's stories. He was okay about it. He could be tyrannical. He could be downright mean. If he didn't like a story, boy, you sure as hell found out about it quick. So in the context of being an editor, or the managing editor, he made it real clear from the get-go it wasn't about a popularity contest. It was about getting a product out that had his name on it every night. This is the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite. It was his show. Of course you're going to be liked. You're all nice people. You're all good kids. You're all popular. You all partly got the editorship because you commanded respect among the teams. I can't imagine that was not one of the reasons why the previous year editors or your advisor picked you. Don't worry about being liked. Worry about doing the kind of job that has your name on it. It's your brand. It's not just the XYZ newspaper. It's the XYZ newspaper. Editor-in-chief, your name goes there. So that may be contrary to what you expected me to say. Oh, well, it's important to build teams. It's important to be... No, it's important that you set the tone. It's important that as you... The takeaway from Walter is that the respect and the desire, almost the competition to work for that program, to work for him, was paramount. That's what mattered. In fact, it was more about everyone else wanting to work for him. He was able to sit back and take control of that. So in a sense, again, be quick to listen, slow to speak.